Are your menstrual cycles just brutal? You have the worst cramps, you have the worst symptoms, you don't know why it's so much worse for you than everyone else? It could be because you have high histamine. High histamine levels can make estrogen levels increase. When you have a menstrual cycle, estrogen levels can even make histamine levels increase. So you have this constant feedback loop where you have your estrogen increases, that increases your histamine, which increases your estrogen further, which creates this constant feedback loop. So your body secretes more histamine, more prostaglandins. You have this chronic inflammation that develops, and this is why your cycle is so bad. So what do you do about it? You figure out what's causing the high histamine. Okay, this could be high histamine foods. It could be eating foods you're sensitive to, like dairy, eggs, gluten, nuts and seeds, eating way too much meat. These things can cause elevated histamine levels, which can feed into these menstrual cycles being so difficult. On the other side, the part you really cannot ignore is if you have histamine intolerance symptoms already, or you're already experiencing chronic illness symptoms, you have to think about mycotoxins and mold. Mycotoxins are the #1 irritant for the immune system. They make the mast cells go literally crazy, go crazy. So if you're having significant ups and downs with your cycles, your menstrual cycles, you have to look at mold as an option, mycotoxins as an option inside your home. Has there been past water damage? Are there high mold levels in your home? Are you eating foods that are triggering you all the time, over and over again? And we haven't processed foods. We haven't way too many animal products in relation to plants, etc. The other part is stress. Stress, okay? When you have too much stress, it can cause your cycles to go up and down, but most of the time the stress is just going to destabilize your nervous system and make you more sensitive to the menstrual cycles going up and down. The main things you want to look at are what you're consuming, what you're inhaling, what you're taking in terms of supplements. Make sure none of those things are aggravating your mast cells, because your mast cells are the ones that secrete all the histamine, and they're the ones that are going to cause this whole negative feedback loop in the first place. If they're overactive, you're going to have a difficult menstrual cycle. If they're not, you're going to have a menstrual cycle that just goes like this. I have a friend of mine, for example, that used to live in a moldy place, and she had extremely difficult menstrual cycles, was going through them for 10 to 14 days per month, right, where she was knocked out. I mean, laying there with the heating pad knocked out, right? And then over the course of getting out of a place that had mold into a clean environment, the next 3 cycles were like nothing. They were like nothing completely. It was like 1% of what they were when living in the moldy house under all the chronic stress, etc. And it's because her mast cells were not so aggravated by the mold that she was living in. And this became something that really, really took the burden down dramatically on the immune system. And now the histamine levels dramatically went down. And when histamine levels went down, guess what? The menstrual cycle was much, much easier. And it was just night and day. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. My website's endsickness.org. I get hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos on there. I deal with nearly all women as my clients. I'd say 80% of my clients are women. And I have plenty of experience with this. So feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for watching.